combination of a little bit of stress on the joints with lots of rest can be very effective for helping the body rebuild. This is a general strategy just for folks who want to build muscle or folks who want to stay in shape. A little bit of stress, a little bit of high-intensity stress, not just walking around the block, but getting on a treadmill for a little bit, for like 30 seconds or 60 seconds, sprinting if you can. Or whatever it is, whatever high intensity is for you, followed by long, luscious, relaxing rest. Stretching can also be very helpful for folks dealing with arthritis because as you stretch, you improve the blood supply to the joints, and that can also accelerate joint regeneration and joint healing. Vitamin C in high doses, very anti-inflammatory. And by high doses, I'm talking 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams a day. In fact, that's one of the really neat things about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is it allows you to get a super high dose of vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams per dose of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You could take 10,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C. The only downside on vitamin C is if you take too much all at once, it'll cause some gas or some cramping or some discomfort, and you don't want to go into that problem. So see where you're at, where a good dose is for you without going into any kind of digestive distress. As far as fats go, super, super, super important for rebuilding joints, for rebuilding muscle, for the nervous system. Fats are very, very important and a little bit difficult to process, and this is why supplementing with fats can be so helpful. Sometimes we don't process our fats out of our foods as effectively, but you can bypass that issue by using supplements, especially ultimate essential fatty acids, omega-6s and omega-3s. Omega-3s are particularly helpful for dealing with inflammation. Omega-3s, of course, come from fish oil, from flax oil, from krill oil. They're a little bit hard to find in foods, so you're going to want to supplement to get your omega-3s. There's a really interesting omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6s are typically associated with inflammation, but there's one omega-6 derivative, if you will, called GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, which can be very helpful for all inflammatory issues, especially for arthritis. So you want to supplement with a little bit extra GLA. And then there's the fatty vitamins. Vitamin E is super, super anti-inflammatory, unbelievably anti-inflammatory. In fact, after a workout, vitamin E is wonderful for post-workout inflammation, but it can also be helpful for inflammation associated with arthritis pain. Around 400 international units of vitamin E a day is a good place to be. You're not going to get that from food, so you have to supplement. Vitamin E comes in different forms. The most common form is alpha tocopherol, but there's actually 8 different forms of vitamin E. So if you really want to maximize vitamin E benefits, look for mixed tocopherols and mixed tocotrienols. That's if you really want to go all out. Vitamin D, another very important fatty vitamin that has anti-inflammatory properties. In fact, vitamin E is an unbelievably important vitamin. It's more like a hormone than a vitamin in the sense that it doesn't just merely assist chemistry, it actually initiates chemistry, particularly anti-inflammatory chemistry and immune-supporting chemistry. Best place to get your vitamin D, by far and away, the sun. And it's one of the main reasons why we feel better when we go out in the sun and have a little bit of, get a little bit of sunshine. Vitamin D is found in fish. If you want to get it from foods, vitamin D, if you're a vegetarian, you'll have to get it from mushrooms. Vitamin D is basically an animal vitamin, although there is a little bit in mushrooms. Vitamin A can be very helpful for helping the body regenerate tissue, especially regenerate joint tissue. 20,000 international units of vitamin A day is a good place to be. And vitamin K is another interesting fatty vitamin that's involved in calcium metabolism, and that may have some benefits for improving joint health. See a couple other things as far as anti-inflammatory go. Digestive enzymes can be really interesting. Not only will they help you digest your food, obviously digestive enzymes will help you access nutrients from food and help you process your food a little bit more effectively, but they also have anti-inflammatory benefits, particularly the protein dissolving enzymes. They're called proteolytic enzymes. Things like bromelain, which come from pineapple, and papain, which comes from papaya. And if you want to beef up your bromelain or bump up your bromelain and papain content in your blood, you can eat papaya and eat pineapple. In fact, papaya and pineapple are 2 wonderful anti-inflammatory foods and anti-arthritis foods. Then there's your minerals. MSM sulfur, very effective for very helpful for helping build joint tissue. Sulfur is a component of healthy joints, and sulfur deficiency is shockingly common because of soil deficiency problems. Zinc, another very important mineral that seems to be missing in the American diet. 50 milligrams of zinc a day. I like zinc picolinate. Magnesium and calcium, of course, those are good for all regeneration and all building, and calcium and magnesium deficiencies are common, especially magnesium deficiencies. Calcium maybe not so much, but magnesium deficiency is very common because magnesium is a vegetable mineral. It's the green mineral, and most people don't like to eat their greens or eat their veggies. So getting enough magnesium is important. Magnesium also has a nice relaxing effect on the body. You'll get your calcium and magnesium, of course, in your OsteoFX. So that's not comprehensive. There's probably a lot more things you could do, and especially for pain, there's things you could do that may not necessarily help you rebuild joint tissue, but can be helpful for pain. Acetyl myristoleate, CMO cream, and CMO capsules that we sell, the Youngevity products, those can be very helpful for pain. Boswellia extract sometimes helps folks for pain. And then cayenne can be helpful for pain. Cayenne hot pepper cream is a product you can get at drugstores called Zostrix, Zostrix, that some people use that may help you with pain relief.
Well, thank you, Ben. You know, some of this rings home for me because I had a bout with repetitive stress injury. It's not extremely different than arthritis, just from clicking a mouse, you know, for 14 hours a day and constantly typing and things of that nature.
Did you notice it improved? Did you use nutrition to help it improve?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I had to use also a little bit of just a physical reality because I had to get a new mouse, an ergonomic mouse, and I had to lay off the keyboard a bunch. I had to start not typing with certain fingers for an extended period of time. But I could absolutely not heal the joint in my right middle finger. It just wouldn't get better until I took actually another Youngevity product, Flex Flow Plus, I believe it's called. It contains MSM. It's very similar to glucogel, I believe, in terms of the formulation. 3 days later, the pain would not go away, was suddenly actually subsiding.
I've heard that more times than I can count with MSM, and the glucogel caps for that matter.
Well,
isn't it interesting? The glucogel caps are really interesting to me because it's such a simple formulation. It's so easy, and that's really underscores how valuable the little things are. You know, we think we need high-tech strategies for dealing with our health issues. So many times it's the little things, the basics, the nutrients and the foods, and correcting digestive issues, and deep breathing and stabilizing blood sugar. Just real basic kinds of things.